Hey everyone, I'm Purge, and today we're going to be doing another anime update video. I've decided to make this into a series because the first one I did, it got some views, it got some likes, and to be honest, I like talking about it. I like talking about anime, it's one of my interests, so yeah, I'm going to carry on doing them, turn into a bit of a series. I'll probably bring them out about once a week, give or take. It's not set in stone, but it might be sooner than that. It might be a bit later than that, but it's about once a week. Before I get into what I've been watching and what I finished and stuff like that, I just want to go over a couple of things that I forgot to mention last time to do with like Anilist features. So the first one, if I go to my anime list, the first one is this little button down here. It says Open Random List Entry. This is really, really useful if you've got like a big planning list or another big list you want to choose what anime to watch, or indeed manga. Um, it's actually really useful for choosing something to watch. So let's say I go to my like recommended to me list. I've got 46 entries in it. You're going, oh wow, I've got 46 entries in it. What am I going to watch? Well, you can just click this button here, open random list entry, and it, as it says, Madoka Magica, there you go, it'll open a random list entry in that list. It respects filters and all that kind of stuff as well, so you can just randomly pick anime to watch. You go, right then, after now I've actually, instead of actually me trying to pick from a list of like 46 anime, I used a button and it picks one for me. That's a really good feature. Also, I should mention that custom lists, and this is a new custom list since last video, I'll get to that, and this custom list here, it's important to note that if there's nothing in the list, if there's no entries at all in the list, it'll just get auto hidden. So you won't even know it's there. So it's actually a pretty handy feature as well, because you might think you might have to remove the list if there's nothing in it, so it's not cluttering up your actual overall anime list, but you don't. It just gets auto hidden if there's no entries in it, which is pretty good. Also, I will mention that I will be doing these type of videos, this type of video for manga as well, but I will be doing manga update videos. However, as you can see from my overview, um, I think I might have mentioned this in the last video, but I watch way more anime than I do than I read manga, and to be honest, I'm pretty slow with reading manga, so um, I don't get through a lot of manga content with the speed I do of anime. So I will be doing manga update videos eventually, but they'll be kind of few and far between. So there's that. Also, is there anything else to mention to do with anime features? Sorry, analyst features? I don't think so. So let's get into what I finished, what I've been watching, that kind of thing. So I'll get into what this list is in a bit. So what I've completed, let's have a look. Let's go to last updated. Right. This is actually in order of what I actually completed. So I finished Bakano. It turned out to be, yeah, a really good series. Apart from the non-linear storytelling, which it gets quite confusing. In fact, the first episode is really, really confusing, but a few episodes in, you kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to using a bit more of your brain power to fill in the gaps of the story, because you'll get a character in kind of one situation, and you're thinking, how did he get in that? How did they get into that situation? And then they kind of flash back to a previous scene at a previous time with that character, and then something will happen, and you'll say, "Oh right," I click into place like a puzzle piece. They click into place and say, "Oh right, that's how he got into that situation. That's why they're like that." So in the end, really fun watch, really good animation, really good, um, interesting characters, and a pretty good kind of ensemble cast story. Also, because of the 1930s US thing, the English dub is actually really, really good. The accents are spot on. It's just really, really good. So that was really good. Immediately after that, I watched the Baccano Specials, which is a 3-episode OVA that's considered the direct sequel to the TV show. So obviously, you're gonna have to watch it. Again, really good as well. Scored an 8. I did finish Beyblade G Revolution. It is. I can firmly say right now, it is the best. It is the pinnacle of Gen 1 of the Beyblade anime. It's really good. It's got like the best battles. It's got the best character arcs. It's actually got like the best character development. You wouldn't think an anime that's like one big tournament arc to have like character development or like sort of backstories and motivations, but it does. It does a good job. So yeah, Beyblade G Revolution, the best, the best in the actual like Gen 1 series. Then I watched a recommendation. This was actually a recommendation that I randomly picked from this list, this recommended to me list. My Happy Marriage. Now, from the title, I originally thought it was just going to be this kind of okay kind of romance story, but it's actually a lot more than that. It is a romance, but it's really well done, and the scope of the story is actually quite a bit bigger than that as well. So, this the main character here, her name is Mio. Again, without giving too much away, I'll just give you a bit of a synopsis. The main character, Mio, she's got a really terrible home life. She's treated very badly by her stepmother, her father, and her half sister, and then she gets essentially kicked out of her house to go and live with a guy that they've arranged a marriage with, and the guy has a reputation for being quite stern, cold-hearted. He's gone through quite a lot of fiancés because this is basically like a like sort of married for status thing. And what follows is kind of like the tentative building of their relationship, and it's really well done, and she's quite an endearing character as well. They've also it also features people with superpowers in it. They're called gift users, but it doesn't feel like it's the focus of the story. It's like deeper than that. It is actually really really good. I was invested from episode one. Um, so yeah, I would highly recommend My Happy Marriage. It was really really good. Immediately after that, I watched the OVA. Now, for some reason, the OVA is categorized as a side story. To be honest, it's more of a sequel because the OVA starts um, directly where the last episode of TV show left off. So to me, it's kind of a sequel rather than a side story. But like, yeah, absolutely. If you watch Unlike My Happy Marriage, absolutely watch the OVA straight after because it's important. It's it's good. Then I watched and finished High School of the Dead, a very fun kind of classic style zombie story in anime form where a group of high school kids have to essentially survive a zombie apocalypse. And that's basically the story. Yeah, it's kind of gory, and yeah, it is etchy. So if you don't like those two things, it's probably not going to be for you. If you do, though, it's actually a really fun watch. I really enjoyed it. It's a really fun watch. Again, not the deepest story, not the deepest characters, but just a fun ride. It was good. High School of the Dead, and immediately after that, I watched Drifters of the Dead, which is a kind of very etchy OVA. Um, Not much of a story, but again, if you don't mind like sort of like etchy, it's a pretty fun watch. And that's the last one I completed since my last video. As for my watching, I watched. Let's get into my notes here. Let's have a look. Okay, so I watched another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, still really good. Um, I do like it. I'll carry on with it. Um, I watched one more episode of Undead Unluck. Now again, I really really like Undead Unluck, and to be honest, the reason now I've not just binged it all is simply because I don't want it to end too fast. So I'm kind of this might sound silly. I'm kind of rationing the episodes kind of thing, but it's really really good Undead Unluck. I highly recommend it. The other thing I started to watch, and I'm 4 episodes into it, is Killing Bites. Again, it's kind of gory. It is it is ecchi. It's essentially a battle royale story um, that takes place between these people who have been genetically modified to have traits of different animals. I think they're called therianthropes in the anime, and they have traits of different animals. So the main character has the traits of a honey badger. Then you've got another guy that has the traits of a tiger, another person that has the traits of like a rabbit kind of thing. And essentially, these like therianthropes have superpowers and they battle each other uh, um, in an effort to allow these massive conglomerates to win these fights for prestige and like representation. But yeah, essentially, it's a battle royale story between um, people with kind of animalistic superpowers, and it's pretty fun. Like, again, not going to win any awards. It's a pretty fun watch. Um, so that's everything I've finished since my last video. Everything I've watched since my last video. The thing I oh yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So there is one anime now that I've actually paused. Now, since my last video, I've watched 3 more episodes of Gintama, and then I paused it. And I don't know when I'm going to go back to it. It's kind of paused indefinitely because I know it's really, really well liked. I know people love it, but it just wasn't grabbing my interest. It just wasn't. And so after I watched like 3 more episodes, got to like episode 22, I said, you know what? For now, I'm going to pause it and come back to it some other time. I don't know when I'm going to go back to it, but I will go back to it. I'm not dropping it. I'm not going to just stop watching it entirely. I will go back to it at some point in time, just not yet. So, last thing I want to actually address is this new custom list I've got up next. Now, it's essentially kind of a new, more organized way of picking my next anime to watch. So, what I've decided to do is when I pick anime, so like what I do, I pick one randomly from the recommended list. Right? I pick one from here, and only one at a time, and then that will go into up next, and I've put it there. The next one I've already picked the another recommendation, and it was actually a place further from the universe. So I put it up next, and then I picked a couple that I just wanted to watch. I could have picked a random from like a playlist, but I just picked a couple that I want to watch. Like Frey Rank that's got like massive hype, gushing with magical girls for the culture, and Beyblade Metal Fusion because it just makes sense because Metal Fusion is actually the start of Gen 2 and of Beyblade, and I've already finished Gen 1, so it makes sense. So I randomly pick for a recommendation. I either choose or randomly pick from my planning list, and they all go here. A max of 5. I never put any more than 5. I won't put any more than 5 in this list because otherwise it'll just be another planning list and be redundant. So max of 5, and then what I'll do when I want to watch something new, I'll randomly pick or maybe choose from this list instead. So I've always got like a max of 5 here that I want to watch very soon. So okay, you may think it's another step to choose where you want to watch, but I kind of like narrowing it down to like no more than 5 choices, and then like for ones that I like either randomly picked from other lists, like my recommendation, or that I actually want to watch, and then pick from those instead. It's just a nice way of doing it, I think. So there you go. That's pretty much covered everything for this video. And the next one will probably be in like another week, and I'll help take over my what I'm watching and what I've completed then as well. So there you go, folks. I hope you liked the video. And if you did, please subscribe, give it a like, give it a comment. It all helps out. It's all welcome. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.